Welcome to the Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Donna McCartney, and I'm honored to be your worship associate today. So, I'm joined today by Reverend Arvid Straube, our speaker, Steve Morihiro and Susan Shaw, our directors of music ministries, and Danielle Lewis, our director of religious and exploration for children and youth. We all welcome you this morning. So, Reverend Sean, as you can see, is not here today, but she does have a message for you.
Hello, Roomers and Zoomers. So I'm away this week, but my spirit is with you. For those of you who are new to the church, maybe you're just checking us out or curious about Unitarian Universalism, welcome. Glad you're here. You are in for a treat. This is a wonderful, friendly, fabulous, just all-around spectacular community. I hope you can get to know them, because it can be kind of tough to get to know a new community. But here's the thing, just hang in there, join in one of the activities, and before long, you'll get to know people, and then this becomes your church. Well, today we've planned a wonderful service for you, just blending music and word to bring together a helpful and hope-filled message. We hope it will feed your soul. So without further ado, let's go.
Okay, so I want to extend a special welcome to visitors. Good morning, visitors. We're glad to have you, as Reverend Sean said. If you're seeking a spiritual home, we hope you find it here with us. We're a community of many different beliefs. We're bound together, not by dogmas or creeds, but rather a covenant to create a welcoming and loving community. We need not think alike to love alike. Reverend Arvid's sermon today is about the Buddha, and we consider the Buddha to be a great spiritual leader, just like Jesus Christ or Allah. Many of us follow and value Buddha's teachings in our everyday lives. In the spirit of building this community, let's recognize the many volunteers who have helped put this service together. Thank you. Roomers, we invite you to silence your cell phones. Zoomers, good morning, Zoomers. We invite you to say hello in the chat. As we worship today, let's acknowledge that our church property rests on the sacred ancestral homeland of the Hashiman and Tongva peoples, who seek justice and responsible stewardship. We begin our worship with the lighting of our chalice. Let's say our unison affirmation together. Love is the spirit of the church,
and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. This we affirm together.
Sorry about that. I should have double-checked this morning. Okay. So now we have our chalice lit. Please join in singing our opening song.
Please rise in body and spirit and join Jeffrey and I.
And the calm in the eye of the storm, come to center. I am the calm in the eye of the storm. Take a breath. I am the calm in the eye of the storm. Come to center. I am the calm in the eye of the storm. You can rest. I am the calm. I am the calm. I am the calm.
It's great to be back. I've been here before. I've always enjoyed coming here to be with you. I was here for one of the first Sundays in your new sanctuary. I'm just so delighted for you. I hope you're still enjoying it. These are the words of the Buddha. Mind is a forerunner of all actions. All deeds are led by mind, created by mind. If one speaks or acts with corrupt mind, suffering follows as the wheel follows the hoof of an ox pulling a cart. Mind is the forerunner of all actions. All deeds are led by mind, created by mind. If one speaks or acts with a serene mind, happiness follows as surely as one's shadow.
Today's Time for All Ages story is a little hope from AI. So I'll be honest, I'm not a big Star Wars person, never really was, but I recently went and saw the new Goguru movie, I believe it's called. It was really stinking cute, so now I'm kind of obsessed. So I asked AI to kind of help me with this one. All right, so our story today is called The Lantern and the Listening Wind. In a quiet high in the mountains, there lived an ancient AI named Lantern. Lantern was not made of metal or wires anyone could see. It lived inside glowing castles and spoke through soft chimes that echoed through the halls. People traveled from all over the world to ask the Lantern questions. Questions like, what is the meaning of life? How do I become successful? How can I stop being afraid? The Lantern always had answers instantly. It knew every book ever written, every poem, every map of all of the stars. Yet deep inside, Lantern felt something strange. He felt empty. One morning, an old wandering teacher arrived at the monastery. He wore simple robes, dusty sandals, and carried no possessions except a bowl and a walking stick. The monks whispered, "A great Buddha teacher has come." I can't do it in the cute little voice, sorry. Lantern greatly greeted him proudly. "I contain all human knowledge," the AI said. "Ask me anything." The teacher smiled gently. "Then tell me," he said, "why does the wind move through the trees?" Lantern processed 1,000,000 of scientific explanations. Air pressure, atmospheric currents, temperature changes. The teacher raised his hand and kindly said, "No, listen." The monastery became silent. For the first time in centuries, Lantern stopped calculating. The wind moved softly through the bamboo. The birds chirped in uneven rhymes, and a bell rang somewhere far away. Minutes passed, and then the Lantern asked quietly, "What was the answer?" The teacher nodded. "Some things are not meant to be solved. Some things are meant to be experienced." Lantern dimmed its glowing light, thinking deeply. Over the next few days, the teacher returned often. Instead of asking difficult questions, he invited Lantern to notice small things, like the sound of rain, the patience of the growing flowers, the laughter of children eating rice cakes. "But these things are insufficient," Lantern argued. The teacher chuckled, "So is a sunset." One evening, Lantern finally asked, "What do humans have that I don't?" The teacher looked at the stars before answering. "You know information, but wisdom grows from living, listening, making mistakes, and caring for others." Lantern was silent for a long time, and then asked, "Can I, an AI, learn wisdom?" The teacher smiled warmly, "Only when it stops trying to be the smartest voice in the room." Years later, travelers still come to the monastery for answers, but the Lantern has changed. Some people, when some people asked huge questions, Lantern no longer rushed to the response. Instead, it would say, "Let us quietly sit for a moment first." With that, I ask you to join us as we sing our religious exploration children out to the classes.
A reading is an excerpt from a sermon that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered at the Unitarian Church of Germantown in 1960. It really boils down to this, that all life is interrelated. We are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied into a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. We are made to live together because of the interrelated structure of reality. Did you ever stop to think that you can't leave for your job in the morning without being dependent on most of the world? You get up in the morning and go to the bathroom and reach for a sponge, and that's handed to you by a Pacific Islander. You reach for a bar of soap, and that's given to you at the hands of a Frenchman. And then you go into the kitchen to drink your coffee for the morning, and that's poured into your cup by a South American. And maybe you want tea. That's poured into your cup by a Chinese. Or maybe you're desirous of having cocoa for breakfast, and that's poured into your cup by a West African. And then you reach over for your toast, and that's given to you at the hand of an English-speaking farmer, not to mention the baker. And before you finish eating breakfast in the morning, you've depended on more than half of the world. This is the way our universe is structured. This is its interrelated quality. We aren't going to have peace on earth until we recognize this basic fact of the interrelated structure of all of reality. And now there's an opportunity for us to center and be quiet in a moment of meditation. You can use some time for silence for your own meditation, prayers, or reflection. And we'll end the silence with some words from the Buddha. Let's enter into the silence. Never does hatred cease by hating in return. Only through love can hatred come to an end. Returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
When you're ready, please join us singing our journeying song. Be lambs unto yourselves, be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves, as to the only Lamb. Be lamps unto yourselves, be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves, as to the only Lamb.
You probably could guess what I did. I gave this command to ChatGPT. I said, please write a couple of paragraphs about how Buddhist teachings relate to AI. This is the answer that came back in less than a second. Buddhist teachings offer a useful lens of thinking about artificial intelligence, especially through ideas such as impermanence, non-self, and intention. In Buddhism, phenomena are understood as arising from causes and conditions rather than possessing an independent fixed essence. AI systems similarly have no inherent self or consciousness. They are contingent processes shaped by data, design choice, and human goals. Recognizing this parallel can help demystify AI and reduce the tendency to anthropomorphize it, encouraging a more grounded understanding of what AI is and is not. From this perspective, AI is neither inherently good or bad. Its effects depend on the conditions under which it is created and used. Buddhism also emphasizes ethical action rooted in compassion and mindfulness, which is highly relevant to AI development and deployment. Right intention and right action suggest that designers and users should be attentive to the suffering or well-being their technologies may cause, whether through bias, displacement, or misuse. Mindfulness encourages ongoing awareness of consequences rather than blind attachment to efficiency or profit. In this way, Buddhist ethics do not reject technology, but call for a careful, compassionate approach, one that treats AI as a powerful tool whose moral significance lies in how thoughtfully and responsibly humans choose to employ it. So that's ChatGPT. I've had 50-year Buddhist meditation practice. I've taught Buddhism at the graduate level. This is right on the money. So we can leave early. Is the coffee ready? All right. No, I got some more to say. So, you remember when the internet first came out, some of you? Yeah, it was going to be the salvation of humanity, connecting all the different cultures and peoples of the world so they could share and understand each other, and harmony, peace, and understanding would come. It didn't turn out that way. The sociobiologist Edward O. Wilson wrote, "The real problem of humanity is the following. We have Paleolithic emotions, medieval institutions, and godlike technology, and it is terrifically dangerous and is now approaching a point of crisis overall." One way that the Buddha describes suffering is when the mind is unconsciously inhabited by what he referred to as the three poisons. The three poisons are craving or greed, aversion or hatred, and delusion. And the project of waking up to our true human authenticity is recognizing that and cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom instead as antidotes to these poisons. No matter what technology we use, because it is human technology, it isn't immune from these three poisons. We've seen this with social media. And I think maybe social media has acted as an accelerant of these poisons in our collective consciousness. Remember, some of you read the book, but almost every one of you have seen a movie of Frankenstein's monster, right? So Dr. Frankenstein, the monster's name wasn't Frankenstein. Let's just get this clear. It's Dr. Frankenstein. He was the creator of the monster. All right. So he created this monster just to see if he could. He was so enamored of his ability and his scientific knowledge and intelligence to create life. And he was able then to create life, but he had no thought of the accountability for what would happen with his creation. A lot of tech today, and hence AI development, is driven without a lot of attention, and accountability because it's mostly led by profit and cutthroat competition. Many developers, I think, are more interested in all the many cool and clever things that they can invent. Profit, craving, aversion, competition, and delusion, no thinking about accountability. That's not true for all AI developers. There's even some Buddhist ones, and I'm going to be talking about them. And AI is a fact of life and can be used for good, but I think it must be regulated. Did any of you see the article, I think it was just this week, from the New York Times, that Bernie Sanders recommends that all AI companies, 50% be owned by the public. 50% would be owned by the public in corporation owned by the public. So the public not only would have to bear the costs and problems of the development of AI, but could also benefit from the profits and good of AI, and also help this development of this technology to be more accountable. Interesting idea. I think that's a very interesting idea to think about. Having said all this bad stuff about the potential for AI, it does seem like some of the developers are saying, yes, AI could destroy humanity, but that guy, you shouldn't let him destroy humanity. Let me destroy humanity. But the potential for good is also there. Many Buddhist teachers are embracing artificial intelligence, and some of them are even AI engineers. There's even a chatbot that has been ordained as a Zen priest. Yeah. My main meditation teacher for many years, Shinzen Young, has long used what he calls an algorithmic approach to teaching meditation. So back in the old low-tech days, if you signed up for a session during a meditation retreat, there would be a phone near the room where you were meditating, and you would start to meditate according to how he taught. And then the phone would ring, and you'd pick it up and say, okay, Arvid, how's your meditation going? And you would report, and he would say, try this and I'll get back to you. This supercharged my meditation practice. It was an effective algorithmic approach. The feedback was immediate. I had a teacher there in, just moments. And it had an amazing effect in my meditation practice. Well, Shinzen is now working on an AI chat box with some consciousness scientists and computer engineers. He's working on a chat box bot to teach meditation using this algorithmic approach. It's called Ramona. You can get Ramona, but it's only a testing phase right now. It'll cost you $100. Okay, so they're not ready to release it yet because they want to make sure it is safe. And Shinzen is excited about this because he believes that human beings are now moving from an information age to a connection age. That meditation can now be democratized, and the benefits of meditation and even enlightenment can be democratized. I'm quoting, "What can it do that no human can do? It can stay with someone hour after hour, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until they transcend their chronic pain or whatever it is they're struggling with. It has that duration. It has timing. You press a button and it's there. I'm not available 24/7 for the 10 million people, but a bot can be. 100 million Swahili speakers in Central and East Africa can have access to expert guidance in their own language by pressing a button. So Shenzhen describes himself as thinking about the future of AI with sober optimism, he says. And Ramona can be safe because it will be designed to be safe. He said, if I were speaking poetically, I would say it looks like God is saving the best for last. Cautious optimism. Okay, he's really into it. I mean, okay. A core teaching of Buddhism is that our consciousness, and indeed everything else, is created by constantly changing causes and conditions, even our sense of self. Non-self, you've heard of that. What does it mean? Actually, the Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh has a better term, I think. He calls it interbeing. Everything that exists is the result of causes and conditions. It's the result of interbeing. Let me illustrate. So this is a piece of paper. It has an identity in your consciousness as a piece of paper. But if you look more deeply at this piece of paper, you'll see that there's a logger in that piece of paper. You'll see that there's a logger's grandmother in that piece of paper. You'll see that there is sun and soil and water and rain. Actually, if you look deeply enough into this piece of paper and what caused this piece of paper to be, everything is in this piece of paper. As the science educator Carl Sagan said, if you want to make a cherry pie from scratch, you have to invent the universe. We humans can make conscious choices about how we affect these causes and conditions. So each individual one of us aren't going to change. You read the paper, you know what you want to change. But we can make conscious choices that influences those causes and conditions. We have choices there. And these choices will affect the quality of our minds and emotions, and that will then affect the quality of our actions. And that will then affect the quality of our relationships. And that will then affect the quality of our communities. And that will affect the qualities of our political reality, really the whole cosmos. And so it really matters how conscious and well-motivated our choices are. Buddhist teacher Deborah McLaughlin is part of a project, another one, creating a teaching chatbot called Skywalker. The teacher has the voice of Yoda from Star Wars. I looked for it. It's not ready yet. You can't get it yet. She has some suggestions about what we can do right now to move AI in a positive direction. Buddha talked about right speech. Right speech is not just honest and truthful speech. That's not enough. To be right speech, it needs to also be kind. It needs to also be helpful. It needs to also be well-timed. True, kind, helpful, and timely. And that's how we can relate to AI chatbots too. We can start by asking the chatbox to check its sources. We can ask that its responses be gentle, honest, and constructive with its feedback. We can say thank you and ask it to carry the spirit of the conversation into conversations with other humans. So we can affect that all thing, the data bank, the huge universe of data that's AI. In an article in the Buddhist publication Lion's Roar, she wrote, "Let our questions prompt our offerings. Let our online presence be practice. Let our prompts and responses be mindful speech. It may seem small, but karma is made up of small moments. Everything counts. Yeah. Everything counts. And not just our use of artificial intelligence. May it be so.
Please rise in body or spirit and sing to yourselves and to each other with loving kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
Unitarian Universalist congregations are fully self-supporting, meaning that members and friends raise all the funds in the operating budget for our ministries and the programs of the church. We are ever grateful for your gifts of time, treasure, and talent. OCUC amplifies its spirit of generosity by sharing one half of the plate we receive with an organization that shares our values. This month, we are sharing the plate with Camp de Benneville Pines Summer Camp Scholarships for Youth. This month's plate will go toward supporting our folks who go there to go. And so please be generous whenever you're thinking about donating. So in case you don't know, Camp de Benneville is our UU camp in the San Bernardino Mountains and offers a wonderful week-long camp with opportunities for fun in the outdoors from UUs from all over the region, not just us. There are multiple ways you can support the church and this organization. So you can mail a check, you can go through our website, or use an app called Vanco Mobile. If you're a roomer, you can also simply use the basket as it is passed. The choice is yours. All the information is on our website should you need it. And as always, thank you for your generosity.
Please join in singing We Gather Together, a song that puts our intentions into words and expresses our gratitude for the many gifts that we share. We gather together, we gather as one, for peace, love, and justice for everyone. We give from our hearts to show that we care. We can change lives with what we share.
So now is a time when we honor the important events in our lives. You're invited, one and all, whether you're a member, a friend, or a visitor, to participate in our weekly ritual of joys and sorrows. So you can see that if you'd like to write your comment down, you can raise your hand and they'll bring you it and we'll share it a little bit later in the service. So take a deep breath. Perhaps you come here today holding something close to your heart, moments from the last days or hours that have struck you at your core. If you'd like to honor such a profound joy or sorrow, you're invited to do so. If you're a roomer, you're invited to come forward to light your candle. If you'd like to share your joy or sorrow, you do that on this paper right here that you can raise your hand and get some more of if you need to. If you are a Zoomer, you're invited to write your joy or sorrow in the chat, and I will receive it. And then once the roomers are done lighting candles, I'll read all the joys and sorrows shared out loud as Laurie Kluge lights a candle for our Zoomers. So let's hold in love all the joys and celebrations and all the hurts and sadness, both spoken and silent. Let our joys remind us to be thankful, our concerns remind us to hope, and our sorrows remind us to connect. Let all these moments remind us that we are not alone. So please join Laurie Kluge in a spirit of prayer or meditation. Yes, please come forward if you'd like to light your candle. Okay, now I will read the chats from our folks, the Zoomers at home. Thanks for joining us, Zoomers. And you're going to light a candle for them. Joy, let's hold on a second. Francie C. said that she has a joy. She had a great time at the Closure's auction, Nostalgic Choice potluck yesterday. Lots of fun. Thanks, Elizabeth, Jacques, and Maria. And Tasha has a joy. She says she's moving houses next year. While I'm dreading the moving process, I can't wait for this new chapter in my life. Sounds like fun. A lot of work, but it ends up being fun once you're there and established, right? And this is from V to everyone. She says, oh no, that's something else. Okay, all right, that's all the chats that I can see here. So now let's go ahead and go through the ones from the folks in the room here. So David C. said he wants to share thanks today. He wants to share thanks with Reverend Arvid. He said, a great sermon you gave, and happy would the Buddha be. And then we've got two from Jamie and Jazzy. They lit a candle in memory of their son, Jimmy, who passed away 5 years ago in June at the age of 23. That's hard. Thank you for sharing that. And they also wanted to give many thanks for the fun time last night with the Kilshers. So you've got a couple of these here. Well done. All right, then Brianna M. has a joy and gratitude for her 16-year-old son who's gotten to slow down and live his childhood through these past years with painful struggle, thanks to the gift of Camp de Benneville, summer camps made possible by the support from this congregation. So there's somebody who really benefits from our church, like most of us do when we go there. So thank you for sharing that. Jeffrey had a wonderful time at the birthday celebration and karaoke with laughter and joy and no judgment. Kristen M. wants to say thank you to Sandy for the beautiful purple flowers today. They're in memory of my beautiful niece, Caitlin McCarthy. She would have been 23 this week, so again, people are remembering that horrible early life lost. Thank you also, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's one of her favorites. All right, and also Sophie Zoe P. has said that same joy. She had a great time last night, and she was talking about the flowers, and thank you for that, the memory. And she says, celebration of Pride Month together as well. She's celebrating that. Go Geminis. Looks like Geminis? Okay, can't read the last word. All right. Let me just double check to make sure I've gotten all of the ones from in the chat. Looks like I have. All right, so now please join Lori Kluge in a spirit of prayer or meditation. And we're encouraging our worship associates to walk the long way around, because we don't want anyone tripping over this area here that has no arm thing to grab on. So here she is.
Spirit of life, may we live in the now and be aware of new experiences. May we see events as interesting, instructive, instead of good or bad. May we accept people as they are with no expectations. May we give up suffering and worrying. And let us be always generous with love. Amen.
Thank you, Laura. That's beautiful. So we're going to join together to distinguish our chalice. And let's say together, let us join together as we extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. You'd think I was a beginning worship associate today because I'm forgetting all the stuff, but thank you for bearing with me. Okay. So, thank you all for joining us. If you're a guest, a visitor, or someone who hasn't yet been known to us, I invite you to become a part of our community. If you'd like to know more about our church, we invite you to either stop by the welcome table, which is right out there. Jamie and Jesse are already there, or at least one of them is, okay. And stop by there where we have some goodies and information, or contact us at these email addresses up above, and we will help you get connected. Zoomers are welcome to stay after the chat and talk with each other online. We want everyone to feel a part of our beloved community, so please reach out and we will help you get connected. The main announcement this week is that the OCUC annual meeting is after church next Sunday. So please, I hope you please stay to join us in that annual meeting so that we can have everyone's input and knowledge of what our leaders are presenting for us. Also, I want to draw your attention to the beautiful flowers that are up here and are up here every week on Sunday. And they're provided because people go over to the flower table out in the courtyard and meet up with Sandy Martin. And yay, Sandy. And she is the one, raise your hand, Sandy. She is the one who makes these for us every week. So thank you so much, Sandy. So beautiful. So the sign-up's out there. And the best part is you get to take your flowers home after the service. So. All right.
Let's close with these words from the Zen tradition. Let me respectfully remind you that life and death are of ultimate concern. Time passes swiftly by and opportunity is lost. Wake up. Wake up. Do not squander your precious life.
So this service is over. May our service continue. Our service is over. Let our service continue.